People often say that a Power Rangers cartoon would be awesome, and yeah, I definitely have to agree. But what if I told you there already existed a Power Rangers cartoon? Well, kinda. You see, this isn't exactly Power Rangers, however, it's seemingly as close as we're ever gonna get. And this isn't some obscure cartoon you may have missed in the 2000s or something, oh no. This is an ongoing series on the internet. This is Mini-Force.
Mini-Force, attack!
Essentially, a Power Rangers ripoff cartoon. But maybe I'm being too mean with that description. Just because there's characters who transform into multicolored suits and have fancy weapons and do cool poses, that doesn't mean I should just boil it down to a Power Rangers ripoff. So let's actually dive a bit more into Power Rangers Mini-Force. Yeah, you know, Power Rangers Mini-Force. Created by SAMG Entertainment, a South Korean animation studio, Mini-Force is a YouTube series that's fully voiced in English. The plot follows 4 cute and marketable animals, Volt, Sammy, Max, and Lucy. By day, they're just cute creatures doing cute things. But when trouble comes a-knockin', they answer, because they're all agents for a secret organization, known as Mini-Force. So, with the villains attacking Earth, they know what time it is.
Mini-Force, transform!
Alright, so they fight the villains and save the day, just in time to return home to get back to whatever silly things they have in store. That's pretty much the premise of every episode. Mini-Force is definitely marketed towards the brain rot iPad kid audience. The characters will often just make noises as opposed to actually talking. It's also littered with loud and obnoxious sound effects and boosted music. But despite that, the show also has a lot going for it. The animation is really pretty, the colors really stand out, and the action is super fluid and dynamic.
Force Bow, transform! Yeah!
Whether they're fighting, pulling out their weapons, or doing their cool action poses. They also use some pretty exciting music. I also love the suit designs. They're a good combination of being bulky and having that armorized look, but not too bulky as to still allow for fluid acrobatic motion. The pink suit having cat ears is also like peak OC design, and the yellow suit being a tad bit bulkier to show that he's the muscle of the group is a nice subtle design choice. Every episode is about 10 minutes long and covers the typical monster of the day formula, while also sometimes touting a moral for the kids at home. I've grown a bit tired of the typical Power Rangers monster of the day formula. However, with the episodes literally being half the length of your typical Power Rangers fare, the pacing is honestly pretty well done. You can have some fun animal shenanigans, establish a conflict, throw in a villain and a fight, and wrap it all up before you know it. The show is naturally designed to be binged by kids. And I just want to be clear, just because this is technically in the same realm as something like CoComelon or, I don't know, what the hell does your little cousin watch on the iPad? Sheriff Labrador? Sure, why not? That doesn't mean that Mini-Force is a lesser quality product. There's clearly a lot of effort that's gone into this show. Believe it or not, there are running plot lines and multi-parters. The characters are also given some character. You see, the red Mini-Force agent is named Sammy. Apparently, sometime during his childhood, a human hit him with a slingshot and injured his right wing, permanently losing his ability to fly. And that weakness is used by the villain in a later episode.
For someone who has endured so much pain, why are you trying to live peacefully with the humans? Join me.
Okay, that's some character work. Oh yeah, this is the villain, by the way. 9. There's not too much to him, just an evil man who wants to take over the world, along with his underling Pascal, an evil Purple Ranger. There's also more recurring characters, mainly Susie the human girl. She's the caretaker of these animals and apparently doesn't know their crime-fighting secret, so they just leave for a bit and apparently she doesn't ask any questions. I guess like Perry the Platypus, that makes sense. Speaking of which, it's not exactly clear what these animals are. Like, they're kind of hamsters, kind of rabbits, kind of birds, kind of cats. They're just vague, cute animal creatures. Commander Chen is the senior officer and pretty much their Zordon. He doesn't really give any advice though, more so just gives them their mission. I'll be honest, I didn't do the typical watch every episode thing for this video because, well, I'm not that interested in Mini-Force. But what I did watch was actually surprisingly really well done. Again, the action is really what got me. If you're just watching the unmorphed stuff, it kinda does have a YouTube Kids brain rot vibe to it. The voice acting isn't particularly great, and it is just nonsense shenanigans for the most part.
Sure, like I'll believe that. Sounds bothersome. I'm not going to.
But once they flip that switch, it's like an entirely new show. This action is pretty good. I mean, look at these movements. You don't create this kind of aura if you're not a Super Sentai or Power Rangers fan. There's always new weapons and the impact of them hits pretty hard. They also have Megazords, quote-unquote. They're regular vehicles that can transform into fighting robots. They do sit in a cockpit, but they don't come together to create one big one. It's more reminiscent of Transformers. Now, here's something pretty interesting about Mini-Force. In 2017, there was a pilot/trailer for an animated Power Rangers movie. It sadly never came to be, despite how solid the trailer was. The animation behind this was Zag Entertainment, a French studio. However, they've partnered multiple times on multiple projects, including this one with SAMG Animation, the same studio that made Mini-Force. And when it was clear that this Power Rangers movie was never gonna happen, SAMG Animation licensed out those poses they already made. It's why Mini-Force has these really striking poses. It's pretty much lifted from the 2017 Power Rangers animated movie they helped work on. The more you know. Now, the Mini-Force lore actually goes pretty deep. Everything I've been showing you has been from the series Mini-Force, spanning 2 seasons with 52 episodes. But that leads us to the next season of the show, Mini-Force X. Yeah, Mini-Force's original run was in 2016, and Mini-Force X would come out in 2019. But is this just a samurai and super samurai situation, where the show is literally exactly the same but just now under a new name? Well, no, surprisingly.
Now, Mini-Force X,
Transform!
I mean, yeah, you're looking at it. It's not exactly creating a new identity, but they did try to separate this from the previous season a bit. For one thing, the animation and art style has a more polished and intricate direction. I mean, just by a side-by-side comparison, it's pretty crazy how detailed everything has now become. The fights are also more cinematic and dynamic. The biggest change, though, comes in the form of the story. They've definitely dropped the brain rot YouTube Kids vibe in exchange for something that actually has some substance. The plot actually has some weight and meaning. There's real plot twist and realistic scenarios the Mini-Force team has to conquer, as well as the unmorphed moments using that time to build upon the characters and actually just have some slice of life scenes.
Now I shall flood the earth with endless tears of sadness and despair!
I mean, look at these promotional posters. This shit looks amazing. Now again, don't get me wrong, this is still a kid's show, but it feels like they're trying to legitimize themselves with Mini-Force X, to truly break away from the brain rot stigma a YouTube cartoon tends to have.
Ultimate X power! It's a Mini-Force X!
And I really have to hand it to them. This season does have a lot more going for it. Like, I could easily see this being picked up by Nickelodeon or something. Heck, there are some episodes that have 0 unmorphed segments. It's just full-on anime action from start to finish. And like I've said 100 times, it's really good stuff. Eventually though, in this season, they actually do get to combine all of their vehicles to create the X-Tron. Now, we've peaked. So yeah, Mini-Force X was a pretty big step up in comparison to the last season. Not that the last season was bad, but focusing on creating a good action show with the story and characters as the true focus is admirable. Mini-Force X also ran for 52 episodes.
and don't you dare come back!
The next season would have another rebrand with Mini-Force Super Dinosaur Power.
Buster!
Borrowing the 2 successful keys in Power Rangers, which is Dinosaurs and Super. I guess.
Come on, Mini Force Super Dino Taraka! Let's go get that ugly trash can!
Visually, the show is still top-notch. However, they decided to stop with the storytelling and all that, and kinda went back to focusing on the iPad demographic. I mean, it's not terrible. This isn't garbage slop, but there's not really a long-term story or character arcs. It's kinda just back to silly, cute animals and then fun action. Which is more than enough. I'm not expecting anything more than a fun children's show here. And again, they have dinosaur powers. Kids love dinosaurs. But they also love dinosaur toys, so I'm kinda surprised there's no Mini-Force toys. At least to my knowledge there aren't. I haven't seen them hanging around my local Target. Every season of Mini-Force would change things up. Sometimes they got dinosaur powers, other times new animals. They become cops at one point. An SPD crossover is begging to happen. Every season of the show, though, manages to keep up in the quality department. I know I've been joking around with the YouTube Kids thing, but Mini-Force really does care about its quality. The episodes, while simple, are all very solid and exciting. Everything down to the morphing sequence, the roll call, the weapons, the overall aura. This is something that only a true fan of Tokusatsu or Super Sentai or even Power Rangers could capture. It's the little details that really makes the show feel special. I feel like everyone working on this show genuinely cares about what they're making. However, there is one season of Mini-Force that is interesting.
Are you okay? Wake up!
You could die!
Yep, this is Mini-Force X, not to be confused with Mini-Force X. And this is true, genuine, home-cooked YouTube children's slop. Like, yeah man, of course! It's always been a dream of mine to watch the Mini-Force do battle with Jigsaw. I mean, goddamn, this is such a time capsule of content that just doesn't exist anymore. These videos have millions of views, and they're all just as terrible as you might imagine. And don't get me wrong, there are a few of these episodes that are live action performances in front of families. I think this is super charming, and I could easily see myself being entranced by this if I was a kid. I'm not knocking this. I honestly love this. This indie Power Rangers clone actually being big enough to draw an audience and put together a decent show from the looks of it is awesome. I'm more so complaining about this. Okay. This one seems a little bit worse. Why are my little Mini-Force friends in the jar? Not a good start. Not a good start at all to this garbage slop. That's very fascinating. What I don't know what's happening. And this is peak YouTube Kids garbage. We got like, it's bright colors and ASMR. Loud sound effects, you know, royalty-free music. Nonsense, just doing stuff because there's colors. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Peak YouTube slop. Yeah, they also have the animated stuff. Learn with colors, eating colored candy, you know, this one has 61 million views. That is insane. That is crazy. I never get used to seeing these numbers. And let's see what this epic video is gonna be. Nice. And look, I get it. This is kids content. This is for little dumb babies and their iPads. But they can do better. They have done better. This entire regular show is good. This is so stupid. You know, I really just don't mind hating on slop like this. I guess this is what they call diversifying your portfolio. You got the good show with the fighting and whatnot, but you also have the worst child brain rot videos you will ever see. So they have a YouTube empire, sure. But have they ever expanded outside of it? Well, yeah, because believe it or not, there is a Mini-Force video game. Mini-Force World on the App Store. It's a mobile game, so of course, I had to check it out. Wow, I'm so excited. So we first need to create our own little avatar. Yeah, that one's pretty accurate. So we actually have a selection of minigames at our disposal. First one we'll try is Mini Force Run, and I accept.
Go!
Well, I can't say I'm too surprised. The game is an auto runner. Press the button on the left to jump and the one on the right to duck. You gotta avoid the obstacles and collect miscellaneous items. And these things couldn't be more miscellaneous. We got random fruits and letters. I thought I was doing pretty good, until I randomly keeled over and died. Next game is Mini Force Shooting. Oh my god, this one actually goes hard. So this is a top-down bullet hell shooter. And a pretty good one at that, honestly. It controls well and has a nice challenge. This is like a real video game. Although this is one of the worst kind of games you want to be playing with a virtual controller on your phone. But still, pretty impressive. Then we got Mini Force Memory. Oh, this is a multiplayer game. We might be waiting here for a while. Okay, I guess we'll never know what this game is. The last one here is honestly the best one in my opinion. Mini Force Block. You got these blocks with numbers on them, right? So you need to launch a ball that bounces around and you have to hit those blocks the amount of times the number indicates. The further you get, the higher the numbers are. I don't know, it's satisfying figuring out the right angles to shoot the ball and get the most bang for your buck. When you're able to combo like 3 blocks in one go, you feel like a genius. But then again, this is kinda iPad baby material. I'm sitting here like, ooh, look at the ball fly around and crush the blocks. Mini Force is apparently very good at dopamine catching. And that's pretty much the game. They hold tournaments and limited time events as well. You can participate to try and get the highest scores in whatever minigame is being highlighted that week. I was too late when I recorded for this video, so I couldn't hold the #1 spot. You're all lucky. If you're actually somewhat interested in this series, I'd probably recommend just watching the movies. Yeah, because of course they had some movies. The one I watched was New Heroes Rise. It was released on February 24th, 2016, and was apparently available on Netflix at one point. This movie also had a theatrical release and grossed $700,000, which is really impressive, honestly. The movie follows the Mini Force defending Earth from the evil lizard army, who have stolen a strong and valuable material in their quest to conquer Earth, and the Mini Force have to stop them. It's a simple plot, but they make the most out of it. This movie came out before Mini Force X, but has all the best qualities of that season. The movie feels like a genuine superhero movie. The characters are actually building character and having dialogue. The art direction and animations are also really pretty, and even the voice acting got an upgrade.
What a liar. And he's the leader? So pathetic.
I didn't know that. Anna, I'm sorry.
The movie acts as an origin story for Mini Force, considering episode 1 of the main show just has the gang already together and fighting for justice. The movie is genuinely really well done with the writing, pacing, story beats, and even plot twists. Oh, and of course, the action. And my own personal theory is that, again, this is the same team that worked on that animated Power Rangers movie teaser, but that was done in 2017, 1 year later. So if you wanted a small peek into what that movie could be like, look no further. Because here we're following a group of regular people, or creatures in this case, needing to learn to become heroes and work together with their new allies, while also dealing with an Earth-threatening force. This is why I think that the people behind this show are real fans of Power Rangers, or Super Sentai, whatever. They probably knew that they were going to have the chance to work on the big leagues with Power Rangers and a movie worldwide. So just the amount of effort they put into this to create something amazing is really awesome. This is a very good movie. If Mini Force isn't something you really want to dive deep into, then at the very least, check this out. It's the Power Rangers animated movie that we never got. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's Mini Force. A series that honestly caught me off guard. Despite its general YouTube Kids aura, the team is obviously trying to make something good and something to be proud of. This is a project everyone involved clearly cares about, and I think it's safe to say that they are fans of Super Sentai and Power Rangers as a whole. The amount of references and niche features that only a fan would care about to make is in this show. And honestly, I can't help but love it for that.